onto this track. The TII car, that is the one that Danny Kvyat has been going up against over the course of the last few days. That car being run by the Technology Innovation Institute, a leading global advanced technology research centre in Abu Dhabi, once again leading the way and very much putting out a call to arms as to autonomy and autonomous technology being the way forward. And this is that car out on track at the moment. You'll notice as well the different lights on the top of the roll hoop. Purple at the moment, that shows that AI is fully in control. If it starts to flash red or go full red, that means it is transitioning and AI has now lost control of the car and it is back under human control. You can hear it, you can see it. If you're trackside watching it as well, you have to almost do a double take, Julian, don't you, and go, there isn't a driver in this Super Formula car.
It was one of the most bizarre things I've seen turning up here. Obviously, we knew the assignment, autonomous vehicles, the push towards new technology that's coming all the time. But then when you see a Super Formula car, now this is a quick car that is not far away from Formula One speeds, and there is no one driving that. And there's no one controlling this as it is from the side of the track either. This is the crucial thing. This is done on code. So there's been a team of people putting in the detail that the computer on board this car needs to learn and understand all the inputs, all the parameters that go into what normally would make a driver think when to brake, when to accelerate. There's a computer on board that, and that is just learning the way around based on a preset code from a team of very, very smart people in the garage, and now it's just running its thing.
And you mentioned the code. This is the car that has created the baseline code that has gone into the computer stacks that have been given to all 8 teams that will take part, or that have been taking part so far this weekend in Attack and Defend, which you'll see a little later on, along with qualifying in the race. The TII car is out there at the moment. That is a driver. That is Daniel Kvyat in the car, the former Formula One driver. Turned 30 years old yesterday, just making some last checks before he heads out of the car. He's been a bit of a driver, and a driver quite literally for this championship and series, making sure that the AI can continuously improve and learn, because with every lap, with every corner, that AI car, Jody, is getting tens of gigabytes of data that's fed back to develop that code through all the different sensors that you can actually see on top of that roll hoop. There, the purple, then you've got the VR camera, 6 cameras on that car to help it around this track, along with GPS, the radar and the LiDAR.
It's learning all the way, and that's got to be the case. It's got to be a case of continual learning and evolution. The benefit a driver has is that they can compute that immediately, the feel of grip, the feel of what to do when, and they can right now manage to change things on the fly as Kvyat gets launched, and we're going to see 2 cars on the circuit. I was amazed at how relaxed he was at the prospect of going wheel to wheel with a car that had no human control at this stage, just AI, but he backs the process, and we're going to see it.
And we know Kvyat can certainly do a dive down the inside, whether there's a driver in the car or not, based off of his Formula One history. A 2-time podium finisher, was in Formula One from 2014 to 2020 with a year off prior to that, reserving for the Alpine Formula One team. Best finish, though, of 9th in Abu Dhabi over his years. Couldn't quite get higher than a couple of points, but certainly a top-level driver to have in this car, to drive it forward, and he gets the beauty of being in what is essentially a Super Formula car, which is the best car you can get in terms of raw speed and pace outside of Formula One. It is based on that Dallara chassis used in the Japanese Super Formula Championship, 4-cylinder, turbocharged Honda engine in the back. Yeah, getting up to speed now as he makes his way into the braking zone. Let's see how quickly he can catch up to the TII car and see if he can try and make an overtake.
And did you notice that he was weaving on the back straight out at turn 5, trying to generate some tyre temperature, and now it's cooler. These Yokohama tyres take a little bit of time to build up the temperature, and of course for the AI car, they're learning this, and they've got to judge it about right. It's a knife edge between pushing too hard too soon and just spinning, and just not being quick enough to build up the temperature as well. So Our human driver is closing in with a bit of a weaving, getting those tyres working. We'll see how it's going to interact with an autonomous car.
TII car making its way underneath the hotel now, through the double left-hander of 13 and 14. We've seen a lot of our A2RL cars have a few issues coming through this part of the track, and there in the background, stalking the AI, is the human of Daniel Kvyat. He's going to close up to him. Where, though? Could he make the move round the final corner? He's had plenty of practice of this, and it's going to be catching up to him on the main straight. Kvyat with a little look to the inside, but he doesn't want to try anything too brave into turn one that closes up right through the corner.
Yeah, waiting now. Turn 2 and 3, left-hander, and then into the right. And then we'll get out towards turn 5. He's just waiting for his chance to come through. Doesn't want to do anything silly, put a nose in where the AI is not expecting it. Is he going to have a little look into turn 5? Waiting
like
again.
He might.
He's waiting.
He decides to tuck in behind, just following that AI car. The car in front does not have a human driver in it. The car behind does, and now the driver makes his way through. That is Daniel Kvyat, takes that inside line, gets onto the dirty side of the track, and that is where we thought the move would come. Down the back straight, over 1.1 kilometre back straight, makes up the majority of this 5.28 kilometre track. Kvyat goes through for the first time. He can now speed away and try and catch up to the back again. And he can now speed away and try and catch up to the back again. But if you're expecting traditional motorsport racing action, this is not what we're showing you here. We're showing you how quickly autonomous technology and AI can move forward through learnings from humanity, and in the end, helping to assist humanity in making those strides forward. The technology used at the moment in the vehicle of what is motorsport to try and take it as far forward as possible. Kvyat now slows up, ducks in behind, and will try again for another move. But this is what we're witnessing here. Essentially, it's a public science experiment.
Shows a little nose into the triple right-hander. So the autonomous car slowed right up as well, passing Kvyat on the back straight there. And it obviously sensed the object around. They've got multiple sensors out there to determine where they are. The GPS, which is a dual antenna system, and that can self-localize the car. So when they're out there now, the autonomous car knows exactly where it is, and it can stay on the line. And that is your first part. The second part is your LiDAR and your radar, which is sending out radio waves and light beams to detect where the barriers are, but also where your other drivers are, where your car is, I should say, not your other drivers, one driver at the moment. And that is what the autonomous car on the last lap could obviously detect. That slows up, saw a space, and went through.
It was a late duck out from the underside of the TII car for Kvyat, who makes his way through again. We'll see where he slows up. And absolutely, I mean, let's just dive into that a little bit more. So you have that GPS system, focus on the TII car there, which you can see making its way through again. Kvyat slowing down. That, as Julian said, is used to localize the car. It's a dual antenna GPS. You've got one on the nose of the car and the second above the virtual reality camera near the roll hoop, which you can see above the purple lighting, indicating that AI is in control. So that's how the car knows where it is on the track. Kvyat once again makes his way through on that back straight. Then you have 4 radar sensors, 3 LiDAR sensors, and 7 cameras. You've got 6 at the front, 1 at the back, needed for that camera lock, so teams can develop the car and can detect whenever it's passing or being passed. So that's exactly showcased with what we're watching right now.
We're not going to see any trademark Kvyat smoky